What is up, wrestling fans? Welcome to part 2 of our AEW roster tier list as part of the Smarkoutmoment Smack Talk podcast. If you're listening to us on the audio-only streams, then you've just started hearing us for the past half hour or so. But if you are just clicking on the YouTube video itself, which you should because this is an interactive one, then you're seeing the screen right now. Time to go a little crazy. Woo, still not doing this, which is really annoying. The little gears on the side are not moving anywhere on Tier Maker. I'm very, very disappointed in that. I'm here as always, Teddy Mango. Joining me as always, still the same from the first part, so I don't know why I'm doing introductions again, but just in case you don't know, I got Cal Wiggins and Robert D. Felice. So,
the women's one sexist.
Yeah, we took care of the women's division.
Why more men on this list?
Yeah, well, that's just how it works. We have
Shame on you.
2, if not 3 times as many to go through, so it's going to be a longer one. We ran down how this works before, so if you have never seen one of these tier lists before, if you have not checked out the previous one with the women's division that we did for AEW, and if you have not checked out the 2 that we did for the WWE roster in June, then I don't know what to tell you. Go ahead and check some other episodes out. You should know how this stuff works. We're going to move these things around. We're going to put them where they are. That's how it works. Very quickly, just to get the plugs out of the way, as I showed them before, if you are watching us on YouTube, which you should because we got the interactive screen on this one, then here's something to keep aware of. Hit that little join button. That brings up the same thing as the Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/smarkoutmoment, you'll see this stuff that's on screen right now. Lending a hand, join the Smarks Club, the Darkcast, which are Patreon exclusive. You get to pick a poison, you get the Hall of Fan, different things like that. Take advantage of that if you so choose. If you want to help us out on the monetary side of things, help us grow a little bit. You should be checking out all the other podcasts that we got here. Scroll through main event segments and stuff because we got lots and lots of playlists, lots of content all over the place. You get the Paul Heyman SmackDown podcast. We'll talk about that a little bit later as well. And you should be hitting that like button, not hitting that dislike button. Hit that applause button if you so choose to. Hit that share button, hit the join button, hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Do all that kind of stuff. If you want to check out the merchandise shops, check them out here. We got the TeePublic for Smarkoutmoment. Check out those different types of designs. Maybe you want to get a Mayor Kane shirt or whatever, Lucha House Party. Maybe you want to go for The Rock this year. You should have already because you should have already put your votes in. But you got the Fanboys Anonymous side of TeePublic. You got the A-Mango T side of TeePublic. You got the shops for the same 3 on Redbubble. And just in case you don't know what fanboysanonymous.com is, I'm gonna bring that up because I didn't do that on the other part. Let's get rid of some of these other tabs that I've got. Look at this. I got some stuff going on here. Maybe you're like, hey, what would it be like if you did a DC version of the Marvel Ultimate Alliance game? Well, I figured it out for you. Did all this work for you. All the characters that you could go with and so on and so forth.
Rocksteady. I'll do that.
Maybe you're interested in who should be the one that kills the Joker. Put that up there. So, go to fanboysanonymous.com.
Why you give me the contact code? I can see several options.
Well, you don't know what the final verdict is at the bottom of it, so I didn't scroll down that far. So, obviously, you should be checking out everything that's going on all over the place, but in particular, if you go to smarkout.com or smarkoutmoment.com, they both go to the same website. It's Smarkoutmoment. You should be hanging out here 24/7. I don't know. Maybe just click around constantly all day, every day. I'll pull an Austin Theory. And, obviously, there's plenty of stuff going on this website all the time here. We got Halloween Havoc coming up later on tonight, so eventually, when we've got Halloween Havoc, you'll be seeing the results. That's the results page. So, yeah, vote on the Chance Giving Tournament. Go ahead and do that. I didn't mention that in the other one. We are currently trying to sort out the qualifying round. Vote on your top 16 out of this list. To be perfectly honest, I didn't think about this ahead of time until the other day. I'm kind of considering removing some of these options afterward and just saying, well, they did really well, but at the same time, somebody like John Morrison, they still can win that title. I don't know if it's fair to keep them on this list. So I'll make that decision over the course of the next 2 days. John Morrison might be taken out. MVP might be taken out. Shelton Benjamin. Anybody who's on the roster right now that is technically eligible. I mean, William Regal, he's not going to be winning the world title. So Bobby Lashley, I might take him out of the list. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I keep him in there or should I take him out?
We do make a good point about it being, they can still win it, so.
Because right now, John Morrison, last time I checked, was like, yeah, he's like right at the top of this. And I'm like, you know what? Is that really fair? He can win the title.
Yeah, and he's got such a ground squad support behind. And then maybe they will give him the title or something like that.
Right. So
yeah, I would rule it out. I would personally rule it out people that could potentially win it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. So apologies to anybody who they voted, 45 people so far at the very least that voted for, 42 for Bobby Lashley and maybe for 40 for MVP. I am really considering knocking them out. So it's something to be aware of down the line. But I'll figure it out today or tomorrow and maybe do some kind of bonus round in the finals when we sort out this bracket because it's on TBD. So we'll sort that out in the next day or so. And here's the other thing. This is what we're doing right now. We're doing the men's roster for the AEW side of things as far as October 2020. Obviously, some things are going to change in given years. We're going to add more people. We're going to take people away. These champions might not be necessarily the same. This one's already not. But they don't let you really change a lot of things.
It's an old list. Yeah. I made this down 4 months ago. There's some people that are on the list. There's one person right at the bottom that we're not even going to discuss. I'm not even going to mention his name. He's down there and no longer elite. Yeah. And that's as much as you'll hear about him in this entire segment. But so I put it up today up until October 2020. It's just that Team Maker, the way it works means that you can't get.
You weren't able to find a picture of Rusev?
He's down there. There's Nero at the bottom right.
I'm not seeing him.
Right there, about the
yes, I couldn't see him because I forgot what Rusev looks like now that he has
not Rusev looking at. Yeah, those ones don't have the ball except for the last one.
They have an inability to sort things the way that you would think that they should be sorting things. But that's on them, not on us. Cal did a great job with this, so thank you, Cal. That's not alphabetical order because that comes before these 2. Yeah.
I did want to add a little bit of a caveat to this one. We didn't do the women's side of things because there was a lot less people, but I think similar to the way we did it with WWE side of things, we need to be a bit picky about who we put where.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that the elite tier should be no more than 6 people.
I think,
you want to just get rid of that now, then?
I think we need to narrow down the elite to a few people. I don't know about necessarily 6. Might end up being where we get closer to 10. Maybe we end up actually only figuring out like 4.
I just think that with a roster this size, it's a roster of about, I think, about 50-something people. You kind of like, the main event here should be, I don't think it should be any bigger than about 8 people because realistically you're not going to have any more top stars than that in a company that size.
I don't think that there's a chance that we go 10, necessarily.
No, I don't think there will be. I think it needs to be elite as it suggests, but I mean to be very selective about it.
Let's take out a couple easy ones, whether they're super high up or super low. Remember, everybody, No Opinion is not the lowest ranked, neither is No Longer Elite. No Longer Elite is just that they're not a part of the company anymore. No Opinion is kind of just like we don't really know. Like, technically speaking, if they would have had a picture for Anthony Ogogo, he hasn't done a single thing. So all he's done has been on the commentary for Dark. You can't have an opinion about the guy when he does that, except for the fact that he wasn't really great on Dark. But
I think it'd be less likely to be used on this one than it was on the women's side of things. I think there's like maybe 1 or 2 names you'll be able to put in that one.
Do they have him? Oh, they have a press 10. Okay, I thought that this was it's small enough. I thought it was Presto fans. I'm like, is a Presto change out now? Is that what they're going to go with? So there's going to be some highs, some lows, obviously more so in the middle, just because that's what the whole bell curve kind of thing is. You tend to have more in the middle. What are some easy ones? Moxley and Elite?
Absolutely. No question or doubt in mind about that one.
Kenny Omega and Elite?
I would say so. I mean, Calvin's probably going to say, this Kenny Omega, maybe not.
But this Kenny Omega's still elite.
Can we just do this? If we're going to have 6 in Elite, it's Jericho, Cody, and the Bucks, right?
No, the Bucks can't be in it.
Cody's elite.
Yeah, Cody's elite. But I think the Bucks, because they're not singles main eventers, can't be in there.
Fair enough. So Jericho elite.
I'd consider tossing the Bucks at the very least for right now, because these aren't final.
Yeah,
We can move around.
They're at least great.
Yeah.
I think Jericho should be elite as well.
Jericho's elite.
Right now,
Jericho is not as elite as he should be to me. Yet he's still elite. Because we also are, keep in mind everybody, we're ranking these based off of what they're doing now. We're not ranking them for their full career. Of course, full career, Jericho is elite. If you go with politics, it's starting to get down there. But somebody, for instance, like who do we got on this list? Like Trent. Trent is a guy that if you were to go with his career in WWE, he's friggin' stick to dark. If you were to go with his career outside of WWE, he is so much higher up. If you go with his strictly AEW career, let's take care of Trent. I think Trent is more towards the great side, actually, but I can see us putting him in all right. I actually would go great.
In the list, I put him great.
Yeah, I think he's great as well.
Okay, good. I'm glad about that. Actually, Trent's one of those guys I like a lot.
I was a bit surprised about how good I think he's been, because he's someone who's a bit like milquetoast for me. Because I don't think he has a huge amount of personality, but some of the matches that him and Chuck Taylor have been having on TV have been great. I think the idea that they released recently that they have the best winning record as a team out of anybody in AEW.
Oh, hey, we got another one for no longer elite. Shino.
Is she no longer actually part of the...
He's no longer on us.
Oh, that's a shame, because I've got no opinion anyway, so that's like...
Yeah, he, at the very most, I would have put Stick to Dark, because I wasn't super impressed.
All right.
But no opinion would have been where he is. But yeah, if he got released or whatever, then...
Well, let's put a couple in Stick to Dark, because there's two that immediately spring to mind, which is Lufa and Michael Nakazawa.
Okay, let's. I agree.
Yeah.
Let's just get that out of the way.
Naka. So, gotta do that. We don't have Serpentico on this, right? They didn't
Yeah,
report on the
but
website.
signed, like
Yeah, he wasn't signed at the time I put this together, so...
I haven't been thinking too much about him. I would put him in no opinion at this
he
point.
would be stick to dark for me.
So let's have a look at some other people. So we've got...
Oh, boy, I'd go great.
He's great, yeah. He's definitely... He's got such potential.
Can I put, I'm going to make a petition for Miro and Meh.
This Miro...
I mean, I'm considering Stick to Dark even at this point.
I'd say Mero at this point,
Yeah.
just because they're just a case of... Yeah, he's had two matches, neither of them were particularly good.
Can we create a please stop category for Matt Hardy?
I mean, if it's please stop fighting Sammy Guevara, you're going to die. That could probably be...
No, just please stop. You're going to die. Like just in general.
Matt Hardy's alright.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
He's great, maybe, I think at the moment he's just alright.
Yeah, I go all right.
Maybe so he's a bit odd, he's still got the, he's still broken on the roster page. Maybe he's not actually... I don't think he's actually broken on the real roster page. I think that was when I got it out at that point in time.
Can we put? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, we got Jungle Boy up here for great. I'd go Luchasaurus great.
I would as well.
Marco's I'm not a fan of. I'd go Stick to Dark.
Yep. I'm not either.
Oh, that's a shame. I like him as like the Spike Dudley of
He's
AEW.
fine, but I still think stick to dark.
I don't even think that he's mad. I think that he's a one-note gimmick that is not funny anymore.
Speaking of one-note gimmicks,
Orange Cassidy out there now.
Oh no, if we're going Orange Cassidy, I'd honestly put him in elite. I think he's fucking amazing.
He's great in the ring, and he's
Put
got...
him in that one because I'm not sure where I want.
Yeah, I thought that's right. At the moment, put him in great, but I just don't know whether I'm going to put him into elite yet, because he's going to be no lower than great, I think.
I'll keep him here for now, at the very least, because I am so high on Orange Cassidy. I've been from the very beginning. I think that this dude's just awesome.
Well, if there's someone else just add another person to elite, if we end up having just even a 6, somewhere between 6 and 10, Adam Page's got to be in elite.
Yeah.
The guy that I thought would be in great at this point in time, he's actually elite. So.
I'd be okay with either of these two options. I would lean more towards great. You thinking elite too, Rob?
I'm thinking elite. I mean,
I think he's a bigger babyface than a lot of the guys next to him there.
Eddie Kingston is great. I put him great.
I'd go all right.
I think he's great, just because of his promo wear recently. Because I'm worried that we're putting too many of those ones, so maybe some revised down, but at the moment I really haven't put him.
QT Marshall should stick to dark.
He's good. He's a good worker.
Sure. So is everybody on this list, or 90% of the people on this list.
The QT Marshall's one of those guys that if he got released, it wouldn't budge anything in my opinion about AEW. Like he's totally fine.
But I think he's more there, because I put there, because I put Brandon Cutler in there as well.
Okay.
Brandon Cutler's in that same boat.
I mean, Brandon Cutler can't be great early. I mean, he just won his first match, but we're not going strictly kayfabe. We're going, potential and everything. I'd go all right.
I'll put him in Matt. I think he's a perfect balance for Matt.
I'm okay with Matt.
I think he's someone who could go up. Like, if they start giving him a few wins now for the back of that first win, then maybe they're saying and same with Peter Avalon, I put him in there as well. Even though the gimmick is annoying, but maybe it will change his gimmick, because some of the work he's actually doing is pretty good.
I'd go more
He's
Stick to
a
Dark.
character.
I mean, I like what he's doing, but at his own expense, kind of.
That's true, but I kind of feel like his character is more entertaining to me than the three underneath him. He's on the lower end of there, but I think he's still there, rather than Stick to Dark.
What are you thinking, Rob?
Yeah, I think he should be on the exact level as Avalon. I mean, as a color.
I kind of feel like the idea of Stick to Dark is like someone that I'm not going to be interested in. I'd be okay seeing more Peter Avalon on just the actual shows.
Well,
So let's get these two out of the way.
If we go with Stick to Dark as like we don't like him, like then yeah, Peter Avalon is higher up.
I like Marco. I'm not saying I don't like him. I mean,
like the kind of like not necessarily like I hate this person's piece of shit or something like that, but like more so just like it's not doing anything for me, that kind of thing. Then Avalon goes higher up because I do like Avalon as like a character.
I'll put Sunny Kiss in there.
Yeah, I can see that. Sunny Kiss has a lot of upsides, but not really the
I
ability
can
to
make
go
an argument for all right, but I think Sunny needs to be in high-profile matches before.
Yeah, I think he needs to do more before he gets there, because I'm still not super impressed with his ring stuff. So I think there's a people that we put into all right, and two people that need to bring to mind probably.
Yeah.
Because they're entertaining, but I still think they're pretty green.
They're all right at singles.
I'd go so far as to where is Cassidy on here?
First on the
I'd go so far as to say Mark Quinn. All right. I think Cassidy, meh.
I like how they got the match with Jericho.
Yeah, he wrestled Jericho.
Maybe it's just the shrieking that bothers me more than
That
anything.
pisses me off. I mean, they both piss me off in that regard. It's just the occasion. I think they're too tight that I wouldn't feel comfortable putting one there. It's like
We're not talking Michaels and Jannetty here. Like these guys are equals.
It's not that big of a difference, right?
Whereas obviously I put like you said, we've got Trent and Gray, and I put Chuck in all right. Chuck's a good wrestler.
I mean,
Chuck's actually big, no, I'm not Chuck yet. Chuck's all right.
I'd go meh.
I put him in
He's better wrestler than that.
Two for all right.
To be clear, and so is Rusev, but he's in meh because he's more concerned about video games right now. And I just don't
The
like.
characters in there at the moment.
Yeah, like Colt Cabana's in all right.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's good. Yeah.
I couldn't go great for Colt at all.
No. Both members of FTR are great.
Yeah, I mean they are a tag team, so it's kind of like they're on the same level as that for sure.
Yeah, obviously, if I'm not putting the bunks in the elite side of things, then you have to put Ben at the same level, because I think they're a similar level right now.
The
Scorpio Sky is great.
The FTR side of things, if you had this as one, like I could bring both of them up in one shot, I'd go elite. But if you go individually, Cash Wheeler himself, if it was just like he's a singles guy now, he's not elite. Like they're a package deal the same way as these two are. That's one of those things to deal with. We're actually this pretty quickly.
Yeah, Sunny Kiss is great. I think Sunny Kiss is we said Scorpio Sky, sorry.
Scorpio's great.
Yeah, he's impressed me a lot. I think both Frankie and Christopher Daniels going all right though.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd almost even lean Daniels down to net.
I'm not putting Daniels below.
I think, I agree with that. It's just like if he was going either up or down, he's going on a downward trajectory to me as opposed to an upward one.
Yeah,
So let's get these two out in one shot. Alan Angels and Preston Vance. I say meh. What do you say?
I can't tell the difference between the two of them. I don't know which one is which.
I would go stick to dark for Alan Angels, and I'd go meh for
I can't tell them apart either. So
John Silver is great.
if you go with his work on being the elite, he's fucking elite. He's the best part of that show. But
that clip that people showing around of him doing the Cesaro hot tag thing is just like I think someone saying it's like putting Cesaro in a hogwash.
I'm not
He's awesome.
great, but I'll put him in all right.
Is that two for great?
I want to put him in great, but at the moment he's all right.
He's all right.
I wouldn't be putting him in that's all right, but he's so much fun to watch.
I was entertaining that idea of that because he is great.
Yeah.
Reynolds has to be meh.
Yeah, at the moment, yeah.
Also, got no opinion.
Yeah, you know what? We don't have any for an opinion. I have no opinion about him.
I mean, I'd put him on Six Dog personally, but just because I guess there's no opinion because he doesn't have a character. His character is Billy Gunn's son.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Billy Gunn should stick to dark.
Yeah, he's not Billy Gunn.
I go meh.
I would be okay putting him in there. He's still works. He's there. I know some people that put in there as well. One person I put in there is Jack Evans.
I go stick to dark.
That's that bad.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put him in stick to dark. Heyman and Helco are meh.
No, and Helga's all right, I think.
I go meh too. Is that two for meh or two for?
He needs more exposure. I understand what you're saying.
If you go entrance,
Maybe I'm a lamb wagon.
Yeah, underground stuff. I agree with you, but AEW wise, he needs more exposure.
Entrance wise, because I think it's funny.
He's pretty good.
But yeah, once you start getting what do we do with Janela? Janela, I'm not big on. Honestly, he's here and here.
Is he a male? I think he's male. I wouldn't be like okay, totally going away, but like just it's not great for him so far.
All right, here's a tough one because listen, COVID beat the crap out of this one, but Pac has got to be either great or elite, right? Like I know he hasn't been there, but
I can't go elite for him.
I'd say great.
Yeah, like he would have been.
We've seen him, even though he's been away for a while, we've seen nothing to know he's going to be like he would be a great TNT champion.
Yeah, that's true. I'm fine with him going in great. I can't make the case for him being an elite.
I put
MJF in elite.
Oh, he's elite, yeah.
I forgot about we didn't care.
MJF has to be in there. MJF has to be in there. I put Darby's great.
Yeah,
going to be someone who's pivoting towards elite.
If that's two for great, then yeah, I'd lean more towards alright. I haven't been as big on him lately.
Darby's going to be such a big deal, but that's all I can see is him being.
Well, he probably survives the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Sammy Guevara's great.
He's great, yeah.
Future elite for sure.
Oh, he's future. I'd say both Brown and Powerful are great as well.
I agree.
Yeah, overall, because that's another tag team that they know what they're doing. Whereas Santana, there he is.
So
we had a nice clean list until Santana got out.
Yeah.
You're right.
So if we put a few more in, it means that we'll get Jimmy Havoc off the screen entirely.
Let's go.
Ex-Kings.
I hate that stuff so much. I'd go alright. I'm not as impressed.
Pentagon, I put Phoenix is great.
Phoenix is great.
I think Phoenix is better than Pentagon is right now.
Yeah.
That's two for great for him.
Yeah, just because he's like, I think Pentagon at the moment is just going too easy.
Can I put Grayson and Uno in meh?
Screw this right.
I'd go more so meh.
I mean, they're more on the. Okay.
I'd go Butcher and Blader and stick to dark.
No, they're meh.
Well, I think like I don't.
Well, yeah, it's all too harsh. I'd go meh. Yeah.
I put them in there, but then I'd also put Dark Order above them because I think Dark Order are better than that.
I think overall, they're not alright for me, but yeah, stick to dark is a little too harsh.
We can talk about the alright side a little bit with a few people. So Kip Sabian's alright.
I agree.
Yeah, he's alright.
Lance Archer's alright.
I'd go potentially great for
Lance
Lance
Archer's
Archer.
great. Lance Archer's great.
Okay, I haven't seen it here. Yeah.
See, I think Sean Smith is alright.
I'd go great.
Alright.
Yeah, he's just he hasn't done enough really. I think so far.
Remember when he used to say 10?
That's what this guy's job.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting bunch of people we have left because I think that most of them are always leaning towards great.
But Wardlow, I can't say is great. Wardlow's somewhere around here. I'd go more so alright because he hasn't really been doing much but squashes.
No, but I can't. That match with Jungle Boy was pretty good, and that match with Cody still had match pretty good as well. So I think they're being very deliberately not exposing him yet. And that's not because he's bad. I think they're actually just trying to say him because they know that he's good.
Haven't seen enough of Will Hobbs to do anything other than alright.
He's alright at the least.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well for it. Yeah, got contract.
Dustin is great. Alright, Dustin, I should not be this good.
Yeah, he shouldn't be this good at this.
Yeah. It's a shame. It's like, man, if Dustin, who knows how to wrestle and everything the way he does now, and was as thin as he was when maybe like a couple years ago. I mean, he's in good shape now, but a couple years ago he was in even better shape. If you got those two elements and you put that back even with like 95 Gold Dust, or the natural Dustin Rhodes, could have been a real big deal.
Yeah.
Like he got it too late, which is a shame.
You can feel free to disagree with me on this one. I'm saying Jake Hager, meh.
I go alright.
I go alright as well. I think he's slightly better than that. He's leaning more towards the net side of things.
These are interesting. I like all three of these, but I feel like all three of them haven't lived up to their potential.
Ricky Starks is great.
Out of the three of them,
I'd probably put all three of them great.
I put all three of them great. I probably just. I might do a bit of rearranging afterwards, but at the moment I put all three of them great. But when we start looking at seeing like maybe trying to even out because it's quite a long grade right now.
If we had the blocking this, I think we did this quicker than the women's.
we're just talking about it a little bit because we know how good a lot of these guys are.
Well, I think it's like, yes, Great is full, but Great also has a lot of tag teams.
Yeah. I mean, it's the idea that a lot of them are a bit more tag team based in AEW than they are in other promotions. So, but looking aside them, like if I was to drop some from Great into alright, the ones that probably are giving me the most attention are maybe.
I dropped Kingston and Phoenix.
I put Santana Ortiz in alright. If we're gonna look at them as an overall package instead of being like just a tag team stuff.
Yeah, but I think they're just too good to try and put that instead. Like the ones that I'm looking at is probably Starks at the moment is the one that's screaming out most to me, just because I know he's got a lot of potential, but it's like at the moment. He's not positioned that much. Like Kingston should be alright just because where he is, but like he's just too good on the microphone. I can't.
Too good on the mic.
I can't put him anywhere else but on the great. And I'm still slightly annoyed that Orange Cassidy's in elite.
He's still totally elite to me.
He's an elite character.
It is true.
And he's so good in the ring.
He's very good when he gets to just do his stuff.
Somehow this dude had a gimmick that should be a dark gimmick and should be not like Dark Order, but like stick to dark in theory. And he should have been a total jobber. And he's the guy that it's like, you know what? If he won that TNT title, I'd be like, yeah, makes sense.
I mean, he might still do.
There's
Right.
oh yeah, there's
It's not yet.
oh, forget my spoilers.
Oh, they didn't take it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, they did, huh?
yeah.
All right. Nice one to remind me. But maybe just
Well, last time spoilers were wrong, so keep that in mind. I'm not actually choosing Takashi.
maybe just AEW just has a load of great wrestlers. Obviously, they have tons and tons of great wrestlers, but just like maybe it's just there's a lot of them that could be positioned to be right moving on to like the really elite level in a short amount of time.
And there's some people that, like we've done before with, when we did Awesome Kong, we were like, oh, you can't judge her as like she was for the rest of her career or whatever. Like, Billy Gunn, I've been a big fan of for my entire life. I never would have put him at elite necessarily, but if you go full career, I'd go great. AEW, he's not great, because he's just kind of hanging out. So, you were super into Angelico from Lucha Underground. I never saw him yet, but I've only seen Angelico in AEW.
I need to give him some sort of building to jump off. And then everyone would like Angelico.
I've never seen
like what
Super Smash
he
Bros.
was known for.
Him and Darby Allin are going to do like the first ever Jackass decathlon or something.
I'd be down for it, as long as they didn't actually get hurt, but can't really help it in these sort of things. I mean, the likelihood is that once they get over this like really rocky start, the Miro is going to eventually be great and make even elite.
And I mean, if they don't do anything with him, Sky can easily drop from great to all right.
Yeah.
You know, like we're going off of their potential now, but if they squander it, then
I think we've got ranked a mixture of like what their potential is and what they've done with them so far.
Yeah.
So I feel like the 7 people we have at top of the 7 people they've really put the most focus on.
yeah, like even Cassidy, like you can say, like, is he really elite? But of all the silly characters, if you look at this list, there's a lot of cartoon going on here, and Cassidy would be the elite representation of that.
It's crazy to me that Brian Cage is not elite, but he doesn't deserve it.
He doesn't.
No, yeah.
It's like the guy's one of the biggest dudes, and he's athletic as hell. And for some reason, their idea for a lot of these people is bring them in, make them a big deal, have them fight for the championship, have them lose, and then we'll figure out what to do with them later on. And it's like, damn it, what's up with these companies doing this whole, we'll figure it out, and then they don't do it. Like Cage,
And AEW's got a huge problem with that. Look at Brody Lee.
yeah, Brady Lee, same thing. It's like he has so much more potential, yet
Yeah, but obviously you can't have everyone at the top. It's like every other company. It's like you can't just.
Granted, but then they shouldn't bring them in, shoot them to the
Right.
top just to lose, because then you're sending the message that, hey, they're not that good.
Well, no, but I think it sends them like it's better than like starting at the bottom. Obviously, you start at the bottom well if they want to do something, but it makes them feel like a bigger deal coming in. Like immediately gives them some sort of level of credibility. They might lose the title match, but then they're just right back there. Brody's already won the TNT Championship. I think he's fine in that regard.
maybe that's
Two
why
of
they're
the
doing it.
original, two of the OG signs that I thought would have been higher on the list, honestly, Pentagon and Sean Spears. If we take them like last year from before Dynamite even started, I would have assumed, all right, Sean Spears is a guy they can really build around, and maybe he'll be in that great territory. And Pentagon, I would have even thought maybe in the elite class, but he's definitely not had a good run.
Spears is a guy that has the tools to be great. He's not great on the mic, but he's got a lot of the tools, yet for some reason they just don't really want to push him to that level.
No.
And until he wins at least the TNT championship, it's hard to argue for him for great. Like I would want him to be up there, but it makes more sense for him to be all right.
He's the good hand that Cody always said he was.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
which is like, that's exactly why he left WWE, and it's like, well, maybe you could have just...
That's been happening with a lot of people. It seems like you go to AEW and it's like, oh man, I'm gonna go here because it's gonna be so different, and then you're like, you know what? Sometimes it really isn't. Like
I think both Ambrose and the Revival disagree with you in that regard.
Right, so I would look at...
those two, they were still a big deal in the tag team division in
Well,
WWE.
they were tag team champions. It's not a big deal.
Well,
It's a big deal in WWE.
See, that's what the difference is. They were a big deal in a division that doesn't matter. They're a big deal in this division too, and it matters. So that's good for them because they actually feel like they're doing something more. Because they actually are doing something more. But it's like
And Moxley...
they were top tier in WWE as far as tag teams go.
Yeah, but that says so very little. But Moxley, I'd argue, listen, he was always a top guy. I understand that he personally had a miserable experience, but as far as Dean Ambrose being booked, Dean Ambrose was never, like, completely... He was a goofball. But he was a goofball in the sense of, like, okay, he didn't like the way his character was presented, but he also...
Driving a car full of hot dogs and mustard down to the ring and like spraying it onto someone and filling Seth Rollins' money back briefcase full of green slime.
No, I get that, but I'm saying, as far as, like, his position on the card, he was, WrestleMania Brock Lesnar. Not many people get to say that.
Yeah, he was always at least upper mid card.
No, I get that. So it's just a case of like it's not so much for me. It's not so much like what level they were in WWE compared to what they were in AEW because John Moxley's on a similar level, the Rival are on a similar level. It's just a case of well, but they're not because we actually care about them and they're actually doing something. They actually feel like characters they wanted to be in AEW as opposed to. Don't just do that while I'm talking. I hear you.
Reminders to everybody.
That's right. I might stop talking.
Some people like Sammy Guevara, big fan of him, and in some ways, I mean, some other ways we
I
can.
think he's one of those ones that you push up to elite soon. I think like if I'm looking at like trajectories of some of these people, I'm seeing like Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara going up to elite in the next like year or two, maybe Jungle Boy at some point as well.
I hope Brian
And
Cage.
then, yeah, Brian Cage potentially definitely. You got Will Hobbs will go up to great. I think Wardlow will go up to great soon. Into the downward trajectory, I think eventually Dustin's got will fall off. And Jericho will go into either great or all right or something.
Yeah.
Eventually time just catches up to anybody. But there's a lot of people that are going up and down. With some people will always be in there because Billy Gunn's never going to get past there at this point. So
If Jericho plays his cards right, he can retire at elite.
I mean, if you were talking right now, yeah.
It'd be like,
Well, God, guys.
It's a shame, but it's like John Silver's probably never going to be under the great level unless it's just the idea of it being like, yeah, I was this like spunky, funny guy like that. But
He carved out a niche for himself as the R-Truth of AEW, though.
like, the guy's fucking hilarious. It's great.
I just say like if there's anybody from the I know obviously they've got Cockburn who's kind of like a pseudo heel at this point because he's kind of like in Dark Order but doesn't feel part of it. But if there's anyone who's going to break out Dark Order as a babyface, it has to be John Silver.
Yeah, pretty much. And you know what? It would seem like these two should be the goofball Dark Order tag team, whereas like
It's actually him and Uno.
it's weird because it's like these two are the goofballs, these two are the tag team, and then these two are the ones that are the idiots. And it's like, what the hell's going on here? And then you get Stu Grayson, who was like the serious guy, and he's kind of an idiot now. And Alan Angels is kind of an idiot, and Preston Vance is kind of an idiot. They've really on BTV.
No, they've really hammered home that there are just a bunch of idiots under Brody Lee.
Right, which I'm not opposed to it, 100%.
I don't mind it.
Because I mean,
I think you kind of sometimes need to do something like that to make the top guy stand out more.
yeah, as long as they don't ever get booked where they're idiots and they're also beating, Cody and whatever, because then it doesn't make any sense. If you've got like Stu Grayson dressed up as Robin and he looks like an idiot and he's lost his credibility or whatever, and you have him fighting Orange Cassidy and MJF or whatever, and it's kind of like, oh man, he's got just as much of a chance. He shouldn't. Like, don't give Evil Uno the TNT title. He shouldn't be the TNT champion. He gives it to John Silver, he runs around like an idiot, and acts like that. Then I'm totally fine for it. But like Colt Cabana, he could win the TNT title. He's got the reputation behind him,
Yeah.
So, need to be serious. I mean, Orange Cassidy's not serious anymore.
Well, no, but I think he needs to be credible.
Yeah, he's more credible because he's had the history behind him more so than like Alan Angels.
Yeah.
I was surprised Alan Angels was the guy that I thought could be a little bit better, and it's not been working out lately.
Keep one, push one, and fire one. Who you got?
Between who?
Just look at the whole roster. You can push anybody you want, keep somebody where they are, or just straight up fire one person. Who is it going to be?
Straight up fire, maybe?
I mean, I'll probably fight Nakazawa just because I still haven't recovered from that shitty Street Fight they had where it was just like toys in the ring and stuff like that. And,
Poor Billy.
Oh, we don't have Matt Sydal on this list.
and he's not on the roster.
Oh, he isn't? I thought that he signed.
No, not as of
I haven't seen him do. Not that was all
He's only wrestled on Bell.
He'll be on Dynamite tonight, but
Well, I would like to say stick to Dark, but he doesn't stick to things. He slips off of them.
Outside he'll be alright.
Yeah, he's somebody who had so much more potential than he was able to actually capitalize on.
You need to be big, Tony.
So I don't know. Release. To be honest, I'd be fine with any of these getting released. Like, it's not going to do anything for me negatively if any of them go. If you lose Marco Stunt, what do you lose? The small guy that runs around, the two guys that actually matter in the tag team.
I think Marco is a novelty that they can have for now.
If we see Marco versus John Silver, does that happen?
That might be fun.
John Silver being the power game and stuff.
No, because I want to see the John Silver Brian Cage match like in PWG where John Silver was the power guy against Brian Cage the luchador.
Yeah, so if you push in, what was the other thing?
Push, fire, and just you think somebody's perfect where they are.
You think Orange Cassidy's great.
Perfect where they are. I'd say Kazarian being under all right. And push. I think I'd lean more towards, I want Brian Cage to be a bigger deal. He should be a bigger deal. The dude's jacked and good looking and athletic. Why the hell is he not a bigger deal? He's got a mouthpiece, so it's not like it's like, oh, I can't cut promos or whatever. Like, Taz can sit there and stumble over things and make that entertaining. Tough. Tough guy Jones.
Okay, so I would, for let go, and I know I'm probably the only one here, but I'd let Janela go. He's not adding anything to your roster. He seems like he more so enjoys the independent scene. They treat him like a god on the independent scene, so let him go be on the independent scene. For one, he's perfect right where they are. I'm going to say Kip Sabian, and all right, I don't see him going up or down in either direction. And for a push, I think Darby Allin should be in your world title picture in the next 12 months.
Well, to release anyone, I'd be Nakazawa. I know you're friends with Kenny, but you're not adding anything to my enjoyment of these shows. When I push, I mean, I want to say John Silver, but the one that realistically would push is actually Wardlow. There's something about him that makes me feel like he's got so much more potential than they're not showing yet. And the one that's perfect where he is, I think, is John Moxley. I think he's your perfect main event top level guy.
I'll agree with that. This is a very easy discussion with you today, gentlemen.
Not a whole lot of super big debates. We got some that we disagree on, like,
I'm willing to let some go and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd move Phoenix lower, I'd move Kingston lower, like, whatever it is, but it's like, that's where the consensus comes in. You got 2-1, and I don't think that there's anything that's some out of the blue, what, you gotta be kidding me type of thing. Like, if two people would have been like, hey, the Butcher goes into Elite, it'd be like, what, you fucking gotta be kidding me? Come on, he's not Elite. Like, where are these?
Yeah,
Like,
you got a title shot.
he did.
Yeah, that episode of episode of AEW TV, you just got a title shot when Kingston won the fight.
Stop skipping through Dynamite.
Stop having it right after NXT, and I will.
Well, it's during NXT.
Well, yeah, I try to watch it afterward. I'm honestly, like, tonight, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna watch it afterward. I might watch Big Brother afterward, like, just sort of take a break between the two and watch, I was gonna say watch TNA, watch AEW tomorrow. I'm not gonna watch TNA, let's be honest. Especially with Iron Back, but,
They killed the guy.
The baby.
I just said that already.
Do the cough.
No, I did well, Bill from WrestleZone is thinking about doing a Who Done It Murder Mystery podcast, and I just said, oh, it's the baby.
You gotta do the Trevor Then they found out it was the baby. Yeah, so that's your list for the AEW side for the men's division. If you didn't check out the women's division, go ahead and check that out. If you want to check out the WWE side, I'm sure the fact that we did that in June means that a lot of things could be switched around a little bit. But, we can't just do this like once a month or something. But if you do want us to do more tier lists, remember, go over to Patreon, make a poison, get the requested. Kind of the whole point. This obviously can't do any kind of like promotional stuff. Can't be like,
but you know what? It's going to be really special. That platinum level Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's if you read these, it's like I don't even know what the fuck you get because I'm not expecting anybody to do that. I put them there more as like just because I had the idea in my mind about like bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and I was like, I'll put them out there, whatever.
We need to add stuff to it. Like if you are the Hall of Fame platinum level, you get exclusive to Tony's premium OnlyFans account.
Maybe I will make an OnlyFans account and make that platinum level, and you can get I don't know, shots my ass or something.
I think we should put out a challenge for 12 people to subscribe to that platinum tier, and you get to dictate basically what we do all of the next year. And at the same time, you're paying for Tony's wedding.
Pretty much, yeah. I would love. Maybe I need to create the Patreon has a wedding tier or something because everything's so freaking expensive. I hate it. Yeah, so keep that in mind. Obviously, I mentioned before, if you hit that subscribe button, you hit the join button, you hit that like button, you hit the share button. Save's not really gonna help anything, but you can save it. Just kind of start hitting other buttons. Don't hit that one though. Don't do that one.
Also, over on
this one, fuck you.
Also, over on the YouTube, there's the playlist for the Paul Heyman SmackDown podcast. That's a big project me and Callum are doing, and Callum's gonna tell you more about it.
Yeah, I can do that now. I'm going to dive into plugs. So Paul Heyman SmackDown is where we go back. Me and Rob go back to the year 2002 right now. We're checking through all the episodes of SmackDown that Paul Heyman was the head writer for. So as you can see, we start from like episode 0, a little preliminary episode, and it goes all the way through now to episode 18. We've got there. Episode 19 will be up soon. I do like my title.
Yes, I was very proud of you. I now pronounce you Chuck and Bill.
Yeah, probably that one. Yeah. But just so it's episode 19 will be coming up soon. That's episode following the Big Show's debut. So we'll have his first match on SmackDown. We've got other stuff coming up as well. Yeah, stuff coming up like the it's a Halloween special, isn't it? Got all about it. It's a Halloween special, episode 19. So yeah, where they get to do some some great Halloween themed backstage hijinks. So yeah, check out that episode. Obviously, check out all the stuff on Smarkoutmoment.com. I've totally already shown that beforehand. Want to go on Smarkoutmoment, check out the Fantasy League. See where everyone's standing right now.
If you're interested in where that is on here, I'll show you guys because it might be a little bit hard to find because like I don't want to have a whole dedicated section for one link. But if you find it on here, there's a little track the Fantasy League under there because it's a it's a gimmick, it's a feature. So here's all our weekly gimmicks. As you can see.
And that's where you click on Fantasy League, you get to see all the rules and stuff in there. And right at the bottom, you get to see where we're all standing right now, which is the on top of everyone.
Yeah, do not. The idea that I'm still
Wow, that sucks.
Well, it might be the same. It hasn't been updated for this week yet, so you might be very soon. But,
okay, so I was gonna say, like, you know,
to be fair, it wasn't that bad. Like, there was a time, like, a little while ago, where I was like, had more points than everyone else combined, and you guys slowly started to catch up and started to get more points. So
how the hell did I go from being not that far off from you at the very start
you had some really bad weeks
to being I had for this time frame 2 of the world champions.
Legitimately, Roman is getting all your points pretty much. Like,
what the hell is going on with Drew?
Drew hasn't been wrestling.
Rio just disappeared. Fucking nowhere.
Keith Lee can get a load of DQs.
Yeah, what the fuck is the matter with these people? Like Sasha, she pulled through with me for this week. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, this week Tony will be pushing a lot closer to maybe getting somewhere near me. But yeah, that's what all Fantasy League stuff. So you can check out there. I also put regular updates in the Mega Maniacs and stuff like that. So make sure you check all that stuff out. There's all the other weekly articles and all the other gimmicks that you should check out on the website. Follow me on Twitter at WeekMice14, and I hand you over to Robert.
Rob is the transfer.